Hi there, Titans. My name is Paige, and today I'm going to show you how you can hide or show columns in your Power Tables based on conditions or actions, wherever you'd like to hide or display columns in your Power Table. So let me show you my example. Go ahead and preview. Whoops, got to go to page 1. Preview. And so my users are going to create a contact. And then this is where they select their role. And I set it up so that if they are an intern, they will not be able to see this third column right here. So billing street should not show up when they select intern. So the value is intern. They click create. It takes them to the next page, creates that contact. And here we have it. The interns are not allowed to see billing street. And this is really going to be cool for like your portals or really any instance where you want to hide information depending on the viewer's identity. So how I set this up, let's just take it from the top. I'll redo this with you. Basically, I dropped in, maybe just delete all of this. We can do it all together. So let's drop in the Power Table. Go to plus sign, table. I dropped in the Power Table, called it accounts. I didn't put any conditions on it. And then I just put name, account type, and billing street. Cool. So here's the simple little Power Table that I added in. And we're actually not going to configure anything on this. This is fine. The rules will take place on the home page. So that's where I add in my drop down value. So I did a drop down. And of course, you can have your conditions be set on anything if you want it to be on a login or an email address or anything you'd like. This is just my quick example. Role. Let's edit mapping. I'll just call it manager and intern. I'll get rid of this one. Make sure that you set the values to be the same because we don't want those values to be that key 1 or key 2. We want them to be something that applies to our project. Okay, save. And then now I'm going to drop in my button that takes us to the next page and holds that condition. So here is my button. And I'm going to configure the on-click action. Well, I'll go ahead and let's just call it next. And then the on-click action, I'm going to build this out in action flows because I find the action flows to be very visual and easy to understand. So the first step that we need to do is actually set that value to something that is going to be static and standard and not going to move. So I'm going to pass this into a page parameter. And you can add a page parameter by going to the 3 dots, configure actions, and then under static, I named my parameter role page 1. And then I did the same exact thing in page 2. So under static, I see role page 2. And this is going to hold the value that they selected. So on the button, I'm going to action flows. The first thing I'm going to do is affected elements. And I'm going to set role page 1, and you can find set value from, and I'm just going to set this value from that drop down that they selected. So role value. You could also do role label if that's what you want to transfer over, but my values and my labels are the same, so I'm going to choose value. All right, so now next we give it a tag. I'm going to say set role parameter. Cool. The next thing that we need to do is our Salesforce action, of course. So let's just drop that in. We are creating the contact. We'll click next, call it create contact. Awesome. And then now we have options to create actions that happen during integration, after finish, or on cancel. So after it's finished, I'm going to go to the next page. So redirect, go to page, internal, because it's an internal page, not like something external. We're going to page 2, and then we have to set the parameters. So in here, this is going to be all the parameters that page 2 has and could accept. So I want to send that value to role page 2, and that value is coming from role page 1. So imagine in your head, the person selected the drop-down value. It then went to role page 1, the parameter, and now that we're going to page 2, we're passing that parameter to page 2, and I'll show you why. So we're passing that parameter. Go to next page and pass page parameter. Okay, so that is the full flow for this button. And now we're going to page 2. So when we're on page 2, every time this page loads, I want it to check and see if that value equals intern. And if it does equal intern, then I want it to hide billing street. So I'm going to go to the 3 dots, configure actions. I'll go to every time. And then this action flow, let me just delete this so we can start over. Oh, geez. Let's get back in there. Every time action flows, I'll just delete these one by one. Okay, so whenever they get onto page 2, every time this page loads, I want it to check. And it's going to check if that page 2 parameter equals intern. Next, if param equals intern, or actually I'll just say if role equals intern. Okay, cool. If the role equals intern, then I want to hide that column. And so we're doing this through element interactivity because the power table is an element and it's the table. So next, and now my action, I can choose to show or hide a column. So of course you could choose to show something under a certain condition or hide something under a certain condition. These are the same or I guess like opposite functions. So I'm going to hide it based on intern. And then we have to choose what table element. So we could choose to hide the entire power table. We could choose to hide just like one. So I'm just going to choose to hide one billing street. Of course, you can have them hide the entire power table too if you'd like. Okay, so we're hiding billing street if it's intern. Okay. And then else, we don't really need to set an else because the standard is that it's going to show everything and except for when there's an intern. So I don't need to apply anything for else. And I'm going to click apply and save. And now let's test it together. So we can go to preview, type in our first name. And then we're going to choose intern as the role. Next. And the billing street is hidden. So let me show you when we choose manager. So now Beverly is a manager, choosing next, and she can see the billing street. So that is how it's done, and I hope that this functionality really helps you.